If you go anywhere in terms of gardening, understanding how to set up gardens, most likely you will encounter something called raised beds. Raised beds is just essentially dirt on top of other dirt where you can start a garden. And everything you're looking at here is all raised gardens or raised beds. So I'm a huge proponent of raised beds simply because I can take crappy soil that was here, put good soil on top, and I can get immediately a garden bed. I can have flexibility in the sort of soil that's going to be there, and I can control the amount of water that's going to go into there, because now I'm above the base layer of dirt, so I can control whether I want more water or less water without stuff getting soaked or dried out. But too often I see many people talking about the merits of raised beds, but I don't see people talking about the key aspect that makes raised beds continue to be raised. So this is raised beds that have been here. I've not done anything with it, so it's gone through summers, it's gone through winters, it's gone through rain, it's gone through snow, and you can see for the most part the raised bed has maintained to be a raised bed, and that's simply because of the support system. Most people are forgetting the fact that when you have something raised, you have to have support to it. Most people will put, I've seen people put the wood or the metal bins they can get from Tractor Supply. I just go cheap because it's free, and I have wood chips. So the reason why you want to have wood chips or something to the side of it, because if you don't, you will not have as good of raised beds, and over time you won't have raised beds anymore. Because what happens, you have something above the base layer of your ground and you have water, and what's going to happen, you're going to have erosion. So I have intensive beds, so my measurements of this bed are key for me to continually put in my transplants, put in my seeds, and if I have any sort of movement in my beds where I have less of it, I'm going to mess up how I'm going to be planting. So if I were to plant this as 36 wide, I can guarantee you by the next year, if I didn't have any of these wood chips here, these beds would probably lose 6 inches on both sides, simply because the water is going to take more of that dirt and put it into the pathway. So now I don't have any, I don't have my measurements anymore. I don't have dirt where it needs to be. I have an issue there. So you need a support system to retain your raised beds as raised beds. And the other thing is, as you're raising up above the base layer, you also have sides that are more exposed to water, or more exposed to moisture loss. So yes, you're going to have moisture loss if you don't put any mulch on top, but as you're raising up, gravity will not only push that water down, but also on having the sides more exposed, you also have water loss there. So if you don't put anything on the sides, you're just more prone to more water loss as you're going throughout the season. So if you're going to do raised beds, make sure you have a support system on the side that will support your beds and help reduce water loss. If you don't have anything on the side, you will not have the beds that you have year over year. So make sure you have that if you want to go through with it. If not, you're going to have to be building up your beds every single year.